Fantastic Four is one of my favorite comic book series, and with the movie coming out, to honor the occasion, I figured I'd go out and purchase the full set of Funko Pop figures from the movie. So let's take a look at each one, starting with Mr. Fantastic. Here we see Reed Richards himself, as portrayed by Pedro Pascal. It's obvious that this figure is based on the movie version. You can see the Pedro Pascal's telltale mustache is prevalent here. We have a Reed Richards in fighting pose here with a slightly extended right arm to demonstrate his stretching powers. Now, one thing that I've noticed about Funko Pops lately is that the back doesn't show the full series anymore. I find this very annoying because I always like that guide to see exactly which figures I'd want to be hunting for a given series. So I don't know if that's a thing of the past or what, but I have noticed that in any recent Funko Pops, it has not been the case that they show all the figures on the back. Let's move along to the next member of the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards' wife, Susan Storm, aka the Invisible Woman. So this is a pretty comics-accurate Invisible Woman figure. We can see that in her right hand she's holding one of her invisible force fields. And, kind of spoiler alert for the movie, this figure actually comes with baby Franklin. We can see them on the back here. Alright, moving along. We have Sue Storm's brother, Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. This is actually the heaviest of the four, in large part due to all the flame structure that's all around the body, and actually there's a flame base as well. Once again, a pretty comics-accurate representation of the figure. All right, finally, we have Ben Grimm, the Thing himself. Oddly enough, this figure is lighter than the Human Torch. I'd say this is a pretty comics-accurate representation of at least the Thing's head. The uniform is very much represented from the movie. And once again, we have the Thing in a fighting pose here with a fisted right hand, and he's ready to clobber. And there we have the four members of the Fantastic Four, but that's not all. There's also Galactus, one of the main villains of the movie. This is actually a large version of the figure. And in this case, once again, we're dealing with a bobblehead. He's in ready-to-fight pose, unfortunately without the glowing blue eyes that we see in the movie. But he does strike an imposing figure, obviously not to scale with the other figures. And as always, no complete list on the back. Now, these are not the only variants of these figures. Target, at least, is having a sale on the Target versions, which feature the main Fantastic Four cast in their spacesuits. I was actually in a number of Targets over the weekend, and I saw three of the Fantastic Four. I could not find Ben Grimm. I think that must be one of the more popular ones, so I'll have to be on the lookout for those. Not sure if I want to get a whole nother set of these just for the spacesuit variants, but I'll see how I feel when I see them. If I find a store that has all of them in stock, perhaps I will reconsider. So once again, here we have our Fantastic Four.